by the tremendous outpouring of affection and love from some of your other callers and emailers. It was just very touching after my last call. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And so I wanted to return some of that love, which is one of the reasons I called back tonight. So I'm making the universal gesture, both hands extended. I don't know whether, can I do that on the radio, Mike? Will I be violating one of your bizarre censorship laws?
Oh, wow. There are no censorship laws except cuss words on this program, Blue, and they're not mine. They're the FCC's.
Well, here's the laugh coming back at you then, folks. And I would have called sooner, but I was having nothing better to do. I was wrestling crocodiles, getting myself in training for going 10 rounds with Kay from San Francisco. Although candidly, I suspect the crocs would be more fun. But, she really made my point for me, Mike, more convincingly than I could have done myself. At one point, she suggested I should shut up and that I had no right to speak. And it reminded me of the Dixie Chicks episode, when Natalie Maines said, we're embarrassed that the president's from Texas.
Right.
You remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
And all the knuckle-draggers were saying, well, no, this is America. You can think anything you like, just don't say it out loud, shut up and sing. So, I thought that was revealing of Kay to say that. And then earlier she'd said something in response to my...
Well, no, wait. Are you getting into a blood feud with a school teacher in San Francisco?
Well, that's the other thing.
Blue, she just doesn't like what you said in the same manner that you don't like what Obama says. What's the problem?
Well, I just thought it was interesting that she suggested I had no right to speak and that I should shut up, and I had to earn the right to speak and all that. I thought it was revealing, is all.
I don't think she was insinuating you had no right to speak. If there's one thing that she firmly believes in, my gosh, she's a school teacher, is the right of free speech. I think her point was that it's very easy to criticize from a position outside the country. It's also very easy to criticize from a position inside this country. But there is an element of look. Let me put it this way: this country right now, the United States, is going through a kind of civil war, and I don't mean civil in the sense of nice or polite or kind. There is viciousness in this country right now that is unprecedented in my lifetime, and I'm probably older than you, and I've never seen anything like this. And you've got to understand something. There's an awful lot of Americans right now who are concerned, nervous, frightened, unsure, anxious about what's going to happen to this country. A lot of us on the so-called progressive left feel that there is a tipping point coming, and we don't know what's going to happen when that occurs. We now have people shooting our members of Congress down in the streets. And the last time even an attempt was made that I'm aware of to shoot a congressman was back in the 50s when Puerto Rican separatists or nationalists invaded the U.S. House. And
of course, there have been a couple of attempts on a couple of presidents since then.
Right, but I'm talking about elected representatives, U.S. House of Representatives. Oh, yeah, look, this is a violent country. It's not, in that regard, it's not a whole lot dissimilar to Australia. The only difference between Australians and Americans is you folks don't try to shoot your leadership. You just shoot each other.
Well, I think the point I was trying to make, Mike, I think you'd probably agree with me that it was a bit bizarre hearing someone who's a self-professed liberal telling me that, in effect, I had no right to speak and I should shut up. I mean, that sounds frighteningly like censorship to me.
Right, but what I'm trying to do is to put that in the proper context. There is context. Context is everything. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. This country right now is in a kind of turmoil that is unbelievable. If you want to understand what it's like, don't just come here and dip your toe in the water. Move,
well, can I
move here. If you move here,
Mike?
huh?
I think one of the first times that I called you, I pointed out that I have lived in your country.
No, I mean now.
For an aggregate of something like 5 years.
No, but I mean right now, Blue. This is when all hell is breaking loose.
Why would I want to move there?
Well, that's my point. That's my point. If you don't want to move here, it's very difficult for you to understand the temper, the tone in this country. It's ready to goddamn explode. This country is, I'm telling you. So if you get people who are on the front lines, like a school teacher or a talk show host or a government a worker, people are on the front lines of this madness, there's going to be a sensitivity there. And I think I don't for a second believe that if you were on equal footing with Kay. In other words, if both of you were citizens of this country and you were criticizing the president, I don't think she would have a problem. I criticize the president. She doesn't send me emails saying I should shut up. But the fact is, I'm here.
Well, one of your other callers or emailers, I forget which it was, later on pointed out, it's a bit bizarre because Blue is a citizen of the world, and the whole world's affected by what goes on, and why we try to make these arbitrary distinctions between who can speak and who can't.
Well, you're a smart man. You understand what I'm saying.
Well, I do, but
you've got to consider, Blue, if you want to keep this discussion to the point where it's rational, you've got to consider the context of what's going on in this country. Statements do not stand on their own anymore. Everything has triple, quadruple, quintuple meanings. Everything is clouded by the attitude and atmosphere in this country. And a lot of people in this country would find it very off-putting now. We see this country going down in flames, and we see the rise of neo-fascism. And it's very difficult. And this is all I want to say about it. It's very difficult to hear attacks on the country or the president from without when we are struggling to survive from within. And it's just difficult. That's how we're looking for allies, not adversaries. And everybody is, wrong term here, but everybody's a little trigger happy. And I don't mean trigger. I mean everybody's a little touchy. And some of us are trigger happy. And there's violence afoot. There's an illness in this country. There's a fever. And eventually it's going to peak. And God only knows what's going to happen. Now, let's talk about something else. I want to know what's going on in Australia. It sounds like all hell has busted loose down there, but natural. I thought you all were having droughts, and now you're having floods.
Well, here again, it's difficult to avoid the political because another manifestation of global climate change.
Right. Which we in this country don't even believe is happening. All right, now let me put you on hold. I got to do a break. Let me put you on hold. Last time I put you on hold, you disappeared. Stay there. We'll be right back. Stay with us, Truth Seekers.
To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to
AM with IQ. Listen for Tom Hartman on Talk Radio 1230 KJFK.
By the tremendous output.